YTBC, what's the deal? I just seen an interesting article on boxingscene.com. I will leave the article in the description box. Like always, you read it and you come to your own surmise. But what do you guys think about the idea of this fight? David Haye versus Michelle Wallisch. The article says that according to Michelle Wallisch, he says that he is one of the fighters that was offered terms to fight Haye at the O2 in London on May 21st. And right now, it just boils down to both sides agreeing to terms should Haye push for the option to fight Wallisch. To me, and I've done a prospect watch video on Michelle Wallisch. I will leave that link in the description. Check that prospect watch vid out. It'll probably save you some time if you don't want to go watch him fight. But I encourage you to watch him fight. He's a guy, he has a good stiff jab. He's 16-0. He's undefeated. 16-0, 10 knockouts. He's a German heavyweight. He's rated number 8 by the WBO. He had about 30 to 40 amateur fights. He was pretty successful in those fights. 6'5", 230 pounds. He holds that WBO European heavyweight title. He has a good stiff jab, but it's very predictable and it's easy to be timed. I think his best punch is his right hand, whether he throws it straight down the middle or whether he loops it. It is his right hand, but he likes to walk you down with the jab 1-2, jab 1-2, jab right hand, jab right hand. He's very upright. He doesn't move his head enough. I don't think he's seasoned enough to fight David Haye on the inside. He's a good prospect though, and that's why I did a video on him. He is a very good prospect, but he's 30 years old. He turned pro at 24 years old. This is his 6th year as a pro. So he does have his grown man strength. It's not like he's growing into his body. I mean, he's 30 years old, so the strength is there. I just don't think he moves his head enough. I just don't think he's savvy enough yet to beat somebody like David Haye. He does have a really good right hand, but it's not a murderous right hand like a Joshua or Deontay Wilder or Lucas Brown. It's not that. It's a good, hard right hand, but I think he's a guy that's going to have to work knockouts up through accumulation, especially if he's fighting top-level guys. I've seen him beat some good European-level journeymen with a lot of experience. I mean, Michelle Wallisch, out of his 16 fights, I believe 7 of his fights, he's fought either 10 or 12 rounders. He started fighting 10 rounders his 7th fight. So that's very impressive. And I think a lot of that is due to him having the strength already, because usually when you have a young fighter, he may have the skill and the quickness and ability, but the strength may not always be there. So you want to put him in there in 4 rounders, 6 rounders, but they put him in there with 10 rounders. It's his 7th fight, and usually guys are waiting until their 15th, 12th fight to get 10 rounders. So I don't think he's ready for David Haye. I think he will have a better performance than Mark Demore, because I think he's just a better skilled fighter than Demore. He can't fight off his back foot all that great. When I've seen him fight, he likes to just walk back, put up the high guard, let you get off your punches, and then he comes out of his shell and try to deliver his shots. Haye's too skilled of a fighter for you to fight him like that. For you just to go on your back foot, shell up against the ropes, let him get off. Haye's going to get out of there as soon as he lands his shots. I mean, even though he's fighting heavyweight, I still think that Haye may be one of the quickest heavyweights right now as far as his moving his feet, his reflexes, and throwing combinations. So I think that'd be the wrong game plan for Michelle Wallisch to do. He would have to fight like the big man in the fight. He can't go on his back foot. I would favor Haye's power, just the experience, his hand speed, being in a big moment situation like this. Just Wallisch just isn't ready yet. I mean, he's just not ready. I would like to see him, prove that he can beat like an Alexander Ustinov or somebody of that ilk. Somebody that's at least a fringe contender. But just to throw him right in there with David Haye, even a David Haye that hasn't, fought consistently over the last 4 years, just from what I've seen, what he did with Demore, the type of shape he's going to come in, him getting high-level sparring in, I still think Haye is good enough to beat a guy like Michelle Wallisch at this stage right now. But if Wallisch can, get that stiff jab working and double it up and triple it up, and if he gets inside on Haye, hold Haye and put the vice grip on him, because he kind of fights like a like a poor man's Vitaly Klitschko. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Vitaly Klitschko is one of the best heavyweights ever. So, uh, like a poor man's verse, he just doesn't have the reflexes, and I'm not sure if his chin is made of anything near Vitaly Klitschko's chin. So, yeah, I think David Haye wins this fight rather easily. Michelle Wallisch, I like to see him in there with like a Huey Fury right now, or maybe a Dillian White, something like that, man. But like an Oscar Rivas maybe, but Dominic Brazil, something like that. But trying to jump in there with David Haye right now, I think is just a little bit too much for him. But he is 6'5", 230 pounds, hungry. Um, but I just don't think he's ready for David Haye. YTBC, I'm out.